What's up guys, Kenan here with the 2001 E39 525, and today we're going to be looking at installing an OEM auxiliary input kit into an E39 without sat-nav. Now this video is specific to installation in the glove box, which is where the OEM instructions say to put it, and that's where I like to put it. I've seen it mounted down here before, I've seen it mounted in the center console somewhere, I've seen it mounted in here before, but personally I would like to keep it exactly with what BMW says to do. There's an article concerning this already on e39source.com. I'll place a link down below, and if you are looking for a video and your car has sat-nav, I'll place a link to Hassan's installation video of that as well. As one of the prerequisites for this installation, you need to make sure that your car is at least a September of 2002 production date. BMW did not include auxiliary input capability with CD units before that date. If your car is made before that date, then you can just buy another unit and put it in there. You have to make sure though that it is either software version 40 or software version 50. Software version 42 will not work for this installation. The way you check to see when your BMW is made is simply to open the driver's side door, and on the bottom right hand corner of the sill there are some stickers on there. You'll be able to see exactly when your the production date of your car. I believe it is the first sticker on the upper right hand corner says the production date of your vehicle. But if you need to buy one of these, I bought this off of eBay. This is from an E53 X5, and it was $175, so that's about what it's going to cost to buy this. The auxiliary cable kit is about $40, just so you're aware. Okay, so before you begin, there are a couple of things you're going to need in order to do this. Obviously, you're going to need the auxiliary kit from BMW. The part number is 82110149390, and that is an OEM part. This is made specifically for the E39, just like the cable says right there. So if you're concerned about keeping it OEM, then this is definitely a good thing for you. Okay, so tools you're going to need to perform this. You're going to need a T10 and a T15 Torx bit. You're going to need two bits. The BMW recommends using metric, but if you don't have metric and only have imperials, you can use a 5/32 and a 7/32 bit. And you're going to need a drill. That's really all you need. This whole process should only really take you about a half an hour. Before I begin, I forgot to mention one tool, and you're going to need a plastic pry tool, and I'll explain that in just a moment. Now, as you can see, the first step you're going to need to do is remove the MID head unit. Now, I've already removed mine because I was doing a project earlier, and I need to have it removed to get into this general area. But so it's a very easy process, though. All you have to do is simply remove the volume knob off of your unit, and then down there you're going to see a little tiny Torx bit hole, and that's where you're going to take your T15 and just place it in there and just do a quarter turn to the left, and you're going to hear a mechanism move in there. Then you take the plastic pry tool and just pry the unit forward. It is really that easy. It comes right out. Then you're going to need to unplug the wires. This is very easy. Like a lot of parts in this BMW, you simply depress this clip here. Let me see if I can get closer for you. You simply press this clip out of the back, and it will lift the cables right out. That clip is located right here on the MID. Very easy. Be careful not to break those wires, but that's the first step to removing these two units. The next step is to remove the CD unit from the car. This is relatively easy. You just take your T10 Torx bit and you place it into this screw here and move that, and this one here. Move that out. You can see that's where they're located. Now these are going to remain in the unit as you're moving it. They don't come all the way out. They are held captive. So just be aware of that. Once you have the unit forward, then there are some cables you need to disconnect from the back. Okay, once the CD player is out, you just need to disconnect it. It's actually relatively easy to do. All you need to do is simply lift up this hinge mechanism here. Now I found you need to, if I can move the wiring harness, there's this little, it's divided into two pieces, as you can see there. You simply need to put the two together and this will lift right forward, and as you lift it up, it will pry this whole mess of wires right out of the CD player. Then you need to go ahead and disconnect, where is it? Another piece here. Again, very easy. You just simply push this clip in, pop it off. And that's really all there is to simply removing your your CD unit. As you can see, my original one was a December of 2000, so it didn't even match up with the production date of my car, which is a February of 01. For this next part, you're going to have to determine whether or not your car is pre-wired for the 6-disc CD changer in the rear of the vehicle. If it is, when you pull the wiring harness out, you're going to see that there are two cables here that go into this black connector, and it's all plugged into this central wiring harness. If that is the case, it's no particularly big deal. Simply disconnect this connector by pressing here on this little tab and pulling it out gently. Once it's off to the side, though, you're going to have to modify the aux cable that BMW gave you. They gave it to you in a clip, in a housing like this. The way you remove the central part from the housing is simply compressing this little clip here and then sliding it out of the housing. Once it's out of the housing, then you're going to have to remove these cables from the end of the connector. For this, I used a little screwdriver I had with a relatively sharp end. It's just a point like this, and you could use a toothpick. I suppose that would work. This is a bit of a pain, but what you have to do is press it into one of this second set of holes here, then pull the cable back. It stops along this second row, press it down again, pull the cable all the way out. You have to do this for all three of them, and then you're going to plug them into the wiring harness, and there's a little diagram that BMW gives you. So these two over here would be, or these two on the other side would be exactly where your CD cables are. Then you plug in yellow, black, and or yellow, blue, and red rather, and then you're all set to go. Then all you have to do is simply plug this back in with this whole cable attached back into the harness. A bit tricky, bit of a time-consuming process. Again, when you order this, consult the instructions. They'll help you out a lot. It sounds a whole lot worse than it is, but once you have it hooked up, once you have them disconnected from here, then it's relatively easy to do. Once you have this all connected up again, being very careful not to break any of these wires, this may be the end of the usefulness for this video for you if you're going to run the connector down into the cup holders. If you are, I know what you have to do is remove the cup holders. You have to measure this out, and you have to drill the appropriate holes based on the faceplate for the aux input. But if you're going to install this in the glove box like me, we're now done over here. You should be able, what I would recommend is probably hooking this up to the radio, giving it a test, making sure that the aux input actually works before you go and start drilling holes in the glove box. But the next part for this video, after you're sure that this works, is that we need to remove the glove box. Okay, the next step in this process is to remove the glove box. Ryan already has a video on the channel about removing the glove box. It's covered in his strut replacement DIY, but this is just, I'm going to go over this very, very quickly. It's relatively easy to get it out. All you have to do is remove down here. You just have to remove this panel, just pull it back, just like this. It seems to be caught on this side. Yeah, just pull it down like that and it comes out. There are two 10mm bolts somewhere down here. I can't really see that right here. The other one's over here. And you just have to loosen those, and that will loosen up the glove box. Then there's two clips. I would just take like a butter knife is what I like to use, and just lift them up and slide them out. There's one on that side, one that holds the strut on this side. Take those out and then just remove the glove box. Okay, so now once you have the glove box removed, what you're going to do is you're going to start marking and drilling holes for your aux input cover, and then subsequently for one of the zip ties to help hold the cable in place. Ultimately, the cable is going to run along this side and then back into the car. So the first one you're going to want to do, you're going to want to just follow the instructions on where to drill everything. Once you have them, it's fairly easy. That gives you an idea kind of what you're looking at. This is going to go on the other side just like this. This is where, if you're using the Imperials, you're going to need your 5 and 7/32 measurement drill bits. Just be really careful when you're doing this. Obviously you do not want to mess it up. Do it once, do it properly, and then you can go ahead and we can move on to the next step of running the wire down through the car over to the glove box. The next step in routing the wire from the CD player over to the glove box is to remove this panel right here. This is an area I'm pretty familiar with because I also had to remove this to replace the the fresh air vents. So they're just two Phillips head screwdrivers here. You just undo those, and then this whole section here will just pull out. Be careful again to watch the wires for the flashlight in the glove box. You just don't want to catch those and cut it. It's better just to take it and tuck it back there for now. Just go ahead and take that off, and you'll have access to the wires. Once you have it routed down through here, just by tucking it in, eventually grabbing it down in this general area, I zip tied these two together. I'm going to go in through the back of the glove box, route it up along the side, and then attach right into the side there. But I wanted to keep these together, so it just seems a little bit more nice, neat, and tidy. Once you have these done, then you can go ahead and bring your glove box over, and then you can attach this. You attach the bottom part to the hole that you drilled first via a zip tie. Then all you have to do is put this through the hole, and then you have a kind of like a washer. It's kind of a washer, mixed between a washer and a nut that you put on here to secure it to the glove box. And once you have that done, plug it in again, and I would just check to make sure that everything is working properly before you go ahead and put the glove box back in its aperture for once and for all. Okay, so once you've plugged it in and put your glove box back on, you should be all set to go, and there it is. It just comes through the side right there for me. It's a very nice layout. I'm very happy. Obviously, I have not put the head unit back in for my MID because I'm taking that out and sending it out to have the pixels fixed. But the CD player is in. Just tighten that back down with your T10, and you should be all set to go. One thing to note is when you turn it on, I do know this, or at least Bobby has told me, that when the car is on, my keys are in my other pocket, but when the car is on, if you want the auxiliary to work really well, you may have to do some adjustments. If you have to turn your volume all the way up to hear it, then you're just going to have to do some adjustments on the MID to make sure that the volume level matches what's being transmitted. But ultimately, I'm very happy. Again, $175 for the CD player, $40 for the kit. It's a good deal of money, but ultimately adds quite a bit of functionality that I find quite useful. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. Please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next E39 source video.